Everybody, this is Jeffrey Jansen. Today is September 19th, 2016, and this is Daily Reflections on the things that we cherish most every day, on that what's important, on that is positive, and things that we like to keep going to make sure that life is more tolerable. The things that every day I always start off with is to make sure that we remember our men and women in uniform. That every day we have 22 vets that are dying. And the reason why I always bring this up first, and I do it every day, every single time, repetition. Because we need to remind people to go out there and shake a vet's hand. We need to remind people to hire our veterans. We need to remind people that our veterans volunteered for something that others refuse to do. Now, granted, they all might have their own reasons for volunteering or whatnot, but they still did it. And when they did it for love of country, love of self, love of family, love of God. Whatever their reason is, they did it, and others did not. And a lot of people, I've had religions come up to me and tell me that the military is Satan itself and all this other stuff. And I look at that religion and I tell them that's great. But without that military, your religion would not exist. It's kind of like Iran, what goes over in Iran, what goes on in North Korea. If you had countries like that you lived in, could you live real freedom? And these men and women who every day are on our front lines are seeing to it that the peace is kept. Whether we agree where they're sent or not, that's politicians. That's not the men and women in uniform. Whether or not you're right, left, in the middle, whatever your political faith, it doesn't matter. You cannot blame the soldier, sailor, marine, coast guard, navy. You can't blame those people for volunteering. They are heroes because you're not doing it, because you don't want to do it. In fact, you can probably give 1,000 reasons why you don't want to do it and blah, blah. You know what? Stop your excuses. You didn't do it. I understand. But they did, and they deserve some credit for doing it. So let's always make sure that we tell our men and women in uniform, past and present, thank you for what they did, because they're doing what others refused to do, had an excuse never to do, or will keep giving excuses why they should get credit, but they never did it. You're never going to get credit from me if you've never served. I'm sorry, you're just not. And then we got to go into the other important heroes before I get on. Our police officers, our firefighters, our nurses, our school teachers. Why are these people heroes? Because they give of themselves. They don't get paid very much, but they do so much for each one of us. They do so much for everybody, and they have an emotional struggle they have to deal with between their job and what they have to do to protect the communities, what they have to do to protect us, what they have to do to help us, what they have to do to teach us. And so we always must remember who our heroes are in life. And if that bothers you, me telling you these are heroes, then you don't need to be on my channel, because these are heroes. These are real people that are going out of their life. And I don't just tell you that they're heroes, I tell you why they're heroes. Because 24 hours a day, 7 days a street, those police officers and firefighters patrol our streets. Okay? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, they're going to complaints. 90% of them are crap, okay, which means nothing's going to happen. But another 10%. These are the same people that have teenagers pulling guns on them, and now they have to make a judgment call on whether or not to use deadly force or not. And they have to do it in the blink of an eye, faster than our brains can even work. And when they make that decision, they have to live with the consequence of their decision. Yet they were doing it because if they did not, that person would surely go and kill somebody else. But we forget that, because we're all about ourselves. We're all about what's in it for me. Oh, if I'm a certain color, race, creed, or color, whatever else. Okay, those nurses, they're sitting there holding your patched up bruises and scars. They're holding your arteries so you don't bleed to death every single day. When was the last time you told a nurse thank you? When was the last time that you saw a doctor coming over there changing a bedpan or sitting by your side and talking to you just because you needed somebody there because your family didn't show up? No, the nurses do this kind of stuff. Okay? The nurses were there, for everybody in my family that have ever been there. The nurses need a lot of credit because you know what? They work for very little pay, Yet they're over at our nursing homes and they're over at our hospitals and they're taking care of those that need to be taken care of the most. Yet they have families at home. And you know, a nurse is not a nurse just for part of the day. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, nurses need to be on staff, which means they have to rotate. So every single day, nurses are doing one heck of a great job. So we have to remember how important nurses are. We have to remember how important teachers are. They're teaching our loved ones. They're out there every day getting very little pay. They use money out of their own pockets to decorate their classrooms because they're not, they're not able to get money from the schools because the schools are all broke. Yet when all of a sudden something big comes up, those schools aren't broke anymore, which is, so we got to give teachers credit. Teachers deserve more pay. They deserve more credit. And so I want to make sure teachers always get their just dues. Firefighters get their just dues every single day. These are people that do stuff 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Our civil servants, our mentors, our leaders, our priests, our pastors. We must always look at them as heroes, but we always have to make sure they're doing it for the right reasons. Now, a couple other things. And tonight I got invited to a great friend of mine, invited me over to some classes tonight. And I came as, never been there before. And, it always causes me to think. Whenever I go to something different, it causes me to think on different things. And one of the things is, what do we use our churches for? And that's not exactly what was talked about, but it was what was going through my mind. Why do we go to church? Why do we go, a lot of people's like, oh, I'm going to go pray to God. Actually, I see a lot of people go to church because they're trying to rub elbows with other people. I see people going to church because all their families go and they think it's going to elevate them politically. They think that going to church is going to elevate them financially. They think going to church... One of my best friends said it best. A church is a hospital for sinners. So maybe that's why all the politicians go there. Because if a church is a hospital for sinners, I think every single one of our politicians needs to be in church. But when was the last time you saw Jesus in church? When was the last time you saw God in church? No, they're too busy kicking him out. They're too busy changing the rules to fit their needs, to fit what they deem is appropriate. But that's not what Jesus or God deems appropriate. That's what they deem what's appropriate. And to me, you know what? I will be the first to call them out on it. You need to let everybody back into church again. You need to quit kicking out those that are poor and hungry, yet you're raising money for the poor and hungry. You need to let the sinners in so they can repent and understand that those that are in church are already sinners. You need to quit playing favorites in church. Church is a place... I'm bleeding right there. Church is a place for sinners to go to be healed. It's a place to go to where we can find ourselves again. It doesn't matter what religion you are. The fact is, there is only one road to heaven. But you have to find that road, whether you believe in heaven or not. This is not a religious channel. I'm just telling you right now what others won't say. If you're going to church because you could care less about church, you just know everybody's going there, stop going. Quit wasting my time. Quit wasting other people's time. If you're going because you're going to get financially rich, you're going to pray for the lottery, maybe you should pray for your soul. Pray so that you can find strength to change yourself for the better. If you're going to go get baptized, some of you guys will be burning if you're vampires. Church is a place, and I've seen so many great people go to church, and I see families go, and I get to see families be brought together. I've seen church groups help people with alcohol problems, drug addictions, and everything else. But we've spent so much time getting away from the reason why we go to church. I can't believe I'm bleeding on my neck. We've spent so much time trying to figure out that we forgot we're going there to find salvation. We're going there to find a reason. Look, I don't know what the afterlife is. I don't know if there's a heaven or hell. I do believe in God and I believe in Jesus, but only when we die is when I truly are going to know it. Now, you can feel it in your heart and soul. What I feel in my heart and soul is my own business. But I'll tell you what, we need to be kinder to people. Let's get religion completely out of it. Let's be kind to people. Let's accept people for the differences. Let's accept people for who they are and what they represent, okay? Let's quit trying to beat up on the small guy because we're bullies. Let's quit trying to pick on those with less money because, oh, we have a little more, or we're a little smarter, or we're a little... It's not about that. I went to apologize, or not to apologize. I was talking to one guy one time, and I was actually feeling bad for him because he went through a divorce and everything else, and I always thought he was a pretty good guy. Well, I don't know if he thought I was going to attack him or he's been attacked so many times, but when I went and just kind of was being nice to him, he attacked me like you wouldn't believe. Now, this happened a while back. I still like the guy. He's a good guy and everything else. I just felt bad he went through a bad divorce. But I guess he was attacked so many times that he didn't care what anybody had to say anymore, that he felt so down that now everybody that gets around him he attacks. We don't have to treat people like that. We don't have to get into people's problems, but we can pray for them. We can accept them for who they are. You know, for everybody that sit there and they're racist, those people are not getting into heaven. If there is a heaven. But you want to know something where they're not getting into? They're not going to be trusted by anybody in the community. Because to me, we are all equal. I look at it through a Marine standpoint. I don't care what your color you are, your race, your religion, your ethnicity, or your sex. If you can get the job done, or at least put up an attempt to get the job done, you ask for help when you need it so we can get the job done, hey, then you're an outstanding person. But if you're too set on yourself to where you can't ask for help and the job never gets done because you're too busy worrying about what if, what's in it for me, or sorry, you got to work as a team. I don't care, and neither should anybody else. So let's start treating and teaching our kids that, look, it's about what we do and how we treat people. It's not about anything more than the goodness and kindness of our heart. And when we quit looking at people as in who's rich and who's poor, who's fat, who's thin, who's what religion you got, I think the world will be a lot better place. And if anything, I might just be full of hot air. And if you guys think that, that's great. But I'm going to keep on teaching my daughter that everybody is created equal under one. Okay? I don't care what your sexuality is. I don't care what your race or religion. We need to start showing people who heroes are again. Start showing our men and women are heroes. Our police officers, firefighters. We need to start showing them they're heroes. We need to start giving credit and saying thank you to those that help us, but mean it. Not because we're trying to get something, but because we mean it and we want nothing else. I thank my leaders every single day. I thank my family every single day. Everybody that's ever been part of my life up till present day has had an impact on my life, just like everybody else. When I say you matter, and when I say that you're important, and when I say you've made a difference, you have made a difference in somebody's life. And that's what you have to realize. These people with depression and everything, they have legitimate depression problems. PTSD is a real thing. We have to reach our hands out and be kind to people again. You don't know whose life you're saving, and everybody's like, well, that don't matter to me, or I don't care about that, or he's full of great, I'm full of hot air. And another veteran just died. I'm full of hot air. And another one of my brothers or sisters is homeless on the street because you didn't care, because you didn't want to take and heed my advice. That's great. I am nobody important. But I do know what I'm talking about when we have homeless vets, homeless people. We have children hungry in America today because somebody else is going to handle it. Oh, the government's going to take care of it. Somebody else is going to take care of their needs. Somebody else will take care of the warriors. Why? Because my tax dollars pay for that. No. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to take care of each other. We have to take care of, as human beings, have to go out, reach out. You know how many times we have parades and events where everybody comes out and it's just magnificent, or people come out for March of Dimes, or they come out for a cancer benefit. Everybody comes out. So why does it have to be once a year? How come we cannot come out and help those that need us the most? Somebody said, well, in certain businesses, well, they make all the money. Really, if somebody made enough money, then we'd be able to cure cancer, cure AIDS. We'd be able to cure hunger. We'd be able to put roofs over everybody's heads if there was a such thing as too much money. We bloat and spend, and we have so much corruption. If you got rid of that, we could probably feed all the people in America. I'm not a socialist. I'm for the republic. One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I believe in that full-heartedly. And every time I do these daily devotions, I want you to know how great America is. I want you to know how great people are. I want you to know how great our police officers are. I want you to know how great our men and women in uniform are and how much they would give to you. You know how much our men and women would give for you? They'll give their lives. Would you give your life for them? They will give their life. Will you give their life for them? They will stand in front of a bullet for you. They will stand in front of a car. They will dive off a cliff. And they will hold you in their arms. And they will hit the ground so that they take the blunt of the blow. That's what our men and women in uniform will do. And you want to know something? I extend that to the police officers and firefighters and nurses. That's what they'll do for you. And you know what? A lot of them do things they don't even get paid for it. And they're underpaid by all that. But all these people with money, you're right, they hold it in. You're right, you got money. But you mean nothing to the rest of the world. Unless you do something with it that is useful. Unless you give your time. Unless you give your heart and you do it and ask nothing in return. When you do something for somebody else and want nothing else in return, then your hands are clean. But if you want something else in return, your hands are dirty. That's just my opinion. That's just my aspect of life. To you got to get off social media. Get rid of this negativity stuff. If your friends that you're around every day is negative, then you need new friends. And yes, I'm saying it because other people won't. Because guess what? In church, everybody else, no, well, you got to make your... No, get rid of your dang friends that are negative, that are holding you down, holding you back from your dreams. You deserve your goals. You deserve your dreams. But you will not reach deep down inside yourself enough to understand you need to get rid of those holding you back. If you're in a job that holds you down, do the best you can at the job, but then find a way to get your goals and dreams. You need to keep moving forward, and it's in each one of us. This is a speech for each and every one of us. This is a talk so you understand you need to give up a little of yourself in order to get what you want. Do you want more time with your kids? Then you need to find to get more time with your kids. If you want a better job or better pay raise, you want more time freedom, you need to find that. You want to lose weight? Start taking a walk. You want to get smarter? Read a book. You want to change yourself? Read a book. Go to a class. But you got to do something. If you do nothing, you get nothing. If you're expecting to win the lottery because that's your retirement, get over it. You're not going to win the lottery. And if you do win the lottery, I hope you're smart enough to know that half it's going to be taken out for taxes. And 90% of the people that win the lottery don't even know how to handle it. And they lose it all. So your little retirement nest egg that you're thinking is going to be multi-millions of dollars, sorry, but the chances are too great. You can't win. It's better to save that money. Put it towards an education. Put it towards your kid's future. Yeah, you're saying, oh, it's only $20 a week. Start adding up 20 times 52. Okay. Now add that times 20. How much you got? That's exactly probably what the lottery would pay you. But you just did it yourself. I'm just saying is all. Common sense. That's what these are about. It's about common sense, okay? If you're going to cross the road, look both ways. Okay? Common sense. Don't drink and drive. Common sense. Spend time with your kids. Common sense. Find happiness in your life. Find a way to be happy. Get up every morning and motivate yourself. Get up every morning and find a reason that you got up. Whether it's your beautiful wife next to you, whether it's the sun shining outside, whether it's not, you believe in God, whether or not it's the fact you can get up, the fact that you opened your eyes, if you're getting up because you get to see your kids in the morning and help them to get to school. These are all memories and all things that you can love for the rest of your life. But find a reason to get up in the morning. Find a reason to get along with your kids, other parent if you guys are not together. You don't have to love them. You don't have to like them. But at least find a way to get along with them. Guess what? In the end, yes, you'll probably become friends. Oh my gosh, the person you hate most in your entire life, you become friends with. Oh man, there must be. Why? Because you guys got along. That's what friendship is, getting along. You know, brothers and sisters sometimes end up being some of the best of friends. Why? Because they never got along when they're little. They still don't get along, but they know each other and they trust each other. They know exactly what can get to each other, but they also know how each other tick. Be a good parent. Be a good person. Be a good community person. And if you want to lead, learn to follow first. If you want to be out front, then learn what it feels like to be behind. But always keep moving forward. Always press yourself to do more, to be more, to want more. And if you want more happiness, then find it. If you want more time, then find it. If you want to find more money, then you got to give more money. If you want more time, you got to give more time. How does that work? Because what you truly deserve, and even though you might not know it, will come back to you when you give of yourself and you ask nothing in return. To each one of my friends tonight, I want to tell you this. I'm going to tell you that you matter, and I love each one of you guys, and you guys are important. If I've ever hurt any of you guys or ever did something wrong, I apologize. I'm human, but I apologize, and I mean that. And I want you to know that each one of you guys is important. If I don't know you, I want you to know that you're still important. And today's the first day of the rest of your life. Now here's the challenge. Be more. Do more. The challenge from me to you is this. Yes, you can do push-ups to your blue in the face and support those 22 that die every single day. But on top of that, shake a person's hand. Give a hug. Tell a person next to you they matter. Call up a family member. Call up a friend. Call up that person you bullied in high school or that you thought you bullied or you were bad and tell them, look, I'm sorry. Hey, here's what my life is now. How's yours going? Write a letter to your children telling them you love them. Take a video like this and say, hey, I love you guys, and leave it in your will. You don't have a will? Find a will and get it done. Make sure that at all times you're doing something positive throughout the day. And I bet you when you need somebody the most, there will be somebody there for you because you went out of your way to make sure your friends were okay, meant it. So now all of a sudden when something happens to you, those same friends may return the favor. You might have to go through 100 friends and only 2 of them came, but all you need is 1. Live your life. Don't live somebody else's. Live your dreams. Set your goals, but don't set them so high you can't reach them, but don't set them so low that you keep hopping over them. Set them where they're just out of reach. When you get them, you celebrate. Celebrate every time you hit your goal. Celebrate every time you hit your goal. And it could be just a small goal. You might have learned 2 + 2 is 4 for the first time in your life. 3 + 2 is 5. 6 and 6 is 12. You see where I'm going with this? It's like math. Start easy, work to long division. Start easy, end up in algebra, and then keep going. Don't stop because you comp your goal. Set the next goal higher. Set the next goal higher. One day you're going to look back and be like, wow, that was easy. Look how we learned Mario Brothers on Nintendo. It was really hard at the beginning. Now everybody can go through it within a couple minutes. Yes, I mentioned Mario and going through Mario Brothers in a couple minutes. Remember Duck Hunt? You couldn't use to shoot the gun. You couldn't hit any of you, so you're shooting the dog the whole time. Now you can shoot the duck with your eyes blindfolded. That's what goals are. Set your goals to where you can reach them. Just a little bit far out of the reach so it pushes you to do a little more. And by the time you're done, you're going to be much more of a person. If you're a spiritual person, read the Bible, keep going to church. If you're just an energy person, find what moves you. If you're a knowledge person, read more books. If you are a person that's trying to lose weight, then walk 2 blocks. Set your goal on 1 block, walk 2. Tomorrow, walk 3, run 1. Do 4, then do jumping jacks and push-ups. Every day, set a little bit higher. But every day, reach for your goals. Every day, do a little bit more of yourself. Read a passage in the Bible. Read a good book. Make sure you're not just reading a page, though. Read 10 pages of a good book. If you're going to go in the Bible, read it and then write it down. I'm guilty of not doing that, but maybe I should start that. Maybe I will start that because I'm finding out my friends more and more, they're at, I'm finding out that I've got some really good friends that care about not just me, but they care about my soul. They care about what is going to happen to me. And that means a lot to me. And I love them for it. And it makes me think and makes me proud to have friends that I do that invite me to Bible studies. And, I was honored today to go to a Bible study with a great friend. And, I got to learn to not speak up so much, though, because I got a big mouth on me. But it's not always about religion. It's about setting goals for yourself so that you can become a better person in life. If you go to those doctors and you go to those nurses and tell them thank you, someday somebody may come up to you and tell you thankful, but mean it, and you're not expecting it. A heartfelt thank you brings a person to tears almost every single time. Did you know a person that just shakes a person's hand and says, you know what, I appreciate you? That's worth more than any gold in the world. I know it sounds weird, but when all of a sudden you do something and you're doing hard work and you get recognized for that work that you did, but you never wanted recognition for it, gratitude, humble, modesty. It's like we have a huge bit of humility in ourselves. Do things and don't ask anything in return. Now understand, you got to go to a job and you want cash in return to put food on the table. I understand that. But to be nice to somebody does not take much effort. Unless you don't like a person, then it may take a lot of effort. But do it anyway. Because eventually that person you didn't like may end up becoming your best friend. That person that you didn't like may end up having something to do to save your life, whether it be life, limb, or body. But do it because you want to. Do it even when you don't want to, but do it without asking anything in return. That is the positive part of this conversation today. Doing things and asking nothing in return. Be humble. For everybody that's religious, there is only one path to heaven. You have to find that path yourself. You have to understand that if you're rubbing elbows with the politicians, or you think if you get somewhere because you're going to get rich, that's not going to get you to heaven. It's not even going to get you friends. It's going to get you people that you can never trust, because you did not trust them when you got them. Get new friends if you can't trust the ones you got. Get new friends if they don't help you reach your goals. Get new friends if they're negative on everything they do in life. Find the people that you want to be around because they lift you up, not hold you down. And that's what I have tonight. Now, for everybody that's religious, let's go ahead and say a prayer. And tonight, let's really remember those that need our prayers. Let's really remember those that need God to just really look down on them, because some of them may have drinking problems. Some of them may have temper problems. Some of them may have divorce issues. Some of them may be that single mom that's being both mom and dad. And they just don't see the light at the end of the tunnel because they're so tired, they're stressed from work and job after job, but they're doing the best they can, but they think they're doing terrible when actually they're doing the best, and they're doing better than most people. Let's say a prayer for the person tonight that is depressed on the inside, but is showing happiness on the outside. Let's say a prayer tonight for those men and women in uniform, military, police, and fire, that wear the uniform. And every night they don't know if they're going to come home or not, because they're doing a job and they know their job. At any moment, tragedy could happen. Let's say a prayer for those tonight that have a terminal illness, that we learn to celebrate who they are while they're here with us, that they know we love them, we know we appreciate them. Tonight, let's say a prayer for those that have lost somebody important over the years and they're hurting inside because that person meant everything to them. But what they don't understand is we need to be celebrating that person's life, and you need to be living yours in celebration of that person's life, because their time on earth is done. Now it is your turn to be the person that goes forward. Let's pray for everybody that's setting goals for themselves right now, that they reach those goals. But then we were going to pray that it becomes harder on them. Why? Because the challenges have to be greater for us to succeed. If we pray for things to be easy, we're never going to get strong. Why do we move our muscles? Why do we work out? Why do we get bigger muscles? So we get stronger. Same with our brain, same with our body, same with our intelligence. Tonight, let's pray for you, so that you can find who you need to be and change for the better. So if you guys would join me. Dear God in heaven, please watch over all of our men and women in uniform. Please watch over our police officer, firefighters. Please watch over all the Marines. Please watch over everybody in 2nd Battalion, 8th Marines. Please watch over all the teachers that they're guarding our children. Please watch over our children. God, please watch over our children's parents, whether it's the mother, the father, the parents that are together, the parents that are separated. God, please send thank yous to those in heaven that have gone away from us, but we still love every day we miss, but we know they're in a better place now. We know they cannot reach us, but please let our prayers reach them to show them that we love them and thank them for what they've done for us. God, please watch over our leaders, whether it's our moms or our dads, or whether it's our community leaders, that every day that they have strength to be able to get the word out to help us and lead us to where we need to go, and someday for us to be able to lead those that follow. Dear God, thank you for letting Ray Wilson give me a call tonight to go to a prayer meeting. I really enjoyed that. I really did. Please watch over Rich Ellerman. Please watch over the Brian Carruthers and the Chris Hugheses of the world. Please watch over the Alan Romans of the world. Please watch over my friend Amanda, my friend Ray. Please watch over my friend Larry. Please watch over everyone that's on this tonight, that they understand that they matter and they care. God, please be with those that are suffering and depressed on the inside, that they're contemplating taking their life, that they know their life is more important than to give it up. Please show them peace and happiness. Please let my friends and family and let everybody out there call those that need them tonight. Please give us wisdom and harder obstacles in our path that we can get over. Most of all, God, thank you for letting me get out of bed today. Thank you for my beautiful daughter, Gracie. Thank you for the roof over my head, the food in my stomach, the clothes on my back. Thank you for my dad. Thank you for each one of my family members. Thank you for my friends. And God, please answer, or please listen to all the friends out there that are praying with me tonight, their prayers. And God, please send the Holy Spirit to find us, for us that are lost, that we can find ourselves again, that we can offer kindness and peace again, instead of acting in temper and anger and hate and jealousy and revenge. We forgive and we forget, and we move on, and we take on those that at one time we would never have taken on. Thank you for listening to me tonight, God. Thank you for watching over all my friends. Amen. Anyway, I hope everybody has a great evening. If anybody ever wants to write me a letter, I'll write you a letter back. I love writing letters. It's not a big deal. And I actually do the handwritten letters. You'll see how really terrible my writing is. Remember, if you write a letter to your kids, write it and put it away somewhere. Seal it up, lick it, put a piece of tape on it, and put it away somewhere. So one day, if something ever happens to you, one day, that you can at least communicate with your kids, even when they're not awake or even when they're not around. It's only an excuse not to communicate with them. So later on in life, they're like, well, how do I know you cared? Pull out the letters. Pull out the videos. We have cell phones now that you can do a video on. Write a video to your kids. That's my advice tonight. Do a video for your kids. And remember, come the weekend or even the week, every night, pray with your kids. Read with your kids. Bake with your kids. One of the things I forgot been saying is, have supper with your kids. I miss having the supper with my family. My mom, my dad, my sister, we used to always sit around. We never missed a meal together. It was even better when the entire family got together. Probably because I like to goof around with my cousins. But, eat with your family. Pray with your family. There's a friend of mine, Ryan Kent. He eats with his family every night. And it's just, they got a beautiful family and stuff. But we have to remember, we have to take a time out. Quit multitasking. Yes, I am saying that. Quit multitasking. One thing at a time. Your kids deserve your time. Your kids deserve your attention. And if you can't give them that time and attention, find a time and a place to give them attention. Okay? And if you're just a neighbor, go to the neighbors and take your kids for walks. Take your kids mushroom hunting. Take your kids to events. You don't have to spend money with your kids. Just be with your kids. And for everybody else, remember, you matter. You're important. And I think each one of you is a blessing. I think each one of you has a gift that you either found or you're still looking for, but you got that gift. So tomorrow, let's all be a little kinder. Let's all be a little nicer. Let's be a little bit more understanding. Let's give our jobs just a little bit harder of a push so we get things done even better. Let's take pride in what we do. Like they say in the Marine Corps, and yes, I'm going to go dirty with this. Clean the toilet so the Virgin Mary herself will want to sit on it. I know some of y'all hate when I say that, but it's true. Anyway, to each one of you guys, thank you for your time tonight. Thank you for who you are. Ray, thank you for inviting me tonight. I appreciate it. For everybody else, hey, God bless each one of you guys. Each one of you matter. Each one of you are important. Gosh dang, y'all smell good too. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.